Hello, everyone. I watched Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. And this time, I don't really have any jokes for you guys, any stories beforehand, because, much like Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, this universe, what are they calling it? Pooniverse? Nothing really entertaining comes before Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. The first one isn't that good. So let's just go and get into it real quick with the basic plot. Basically, from what I understand, because I didn't really follow it that much. I mean, it's Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. What I understand is that the first movie happens in real life, and then people don't believe it, but then people actually make a movie about it, and they make it a meta kind of joke, sort of. Anyway, Pooh and gang are being driven out of their homes after the murders in the first movie. Driven out in the forest, and the forest is being burnt down. People are trying to hunt them and stuff. And Winnie the Pooh want revenge for this. So basically, it's just a killing spree on them because of this. And, what else is there really to say? Plot, the pacing, the acting, the cinematography, the directing. Like, is this really what you're looking for? No. You came to watch Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 and expected... What did you expect, honestly? So, basically, this second movie is actually an improvement from the first. The first one is just kind of cliche slasher movie schlock, honestly, horror movie schlock, with bad pacing, bad effects, bad acting, bad directing, bad cinematography, all of the things I listed, but also fell into cliches with like pointless blood and gore. The blood was CGI too, which was very obvious. And also because it's R-rated and like teenage horror movies, they had to have boobs in them too. In the second one, they kind of understood, let's not go with that stupid horror route. Let's go kind of ironic. Much like the Monsterverse, after the first movie, it seems like they've understood what they're supposed to do. So instead of having stupid like girls camping out by themselves and then having pajama slumber parties or whatever, in this movie we just get Pooh and gang murdering people and having fun. We see them chasing down people, getting their revenge, and there has to be some sort of story. And a kind of part of the story is that what's his name, Christopher Robin, has PTSD from the events of the last movie, and he's trying to figure that out. There's also some weird kidnapping subplot. Actually, that's the main plot, but it's wild if you watch it. Christopher Robin has PTSD and he goes to therapy for this stuff. And the acting isn't bad; it's serviceable, actually, like legitimately. Aside from maybe a few side characters, there wasn't actually any like valuable critique to point out, except for legitimately, they didn't just make the movie darker; they put the saturation down. Dark, like when he was having therapy sessions, for example, his therapist had like yellow light, either candle. I don't think it was candle actually. But speaking of fire, at some point there's a fireplace that lights the shot. And the way it's like adjusting, it's obvious that like the saturation was just turned down for the entire film. It looks like an old movie that you pirated and it has very low bit rate and stuff. Yeah, so anyway, what you came to see was hopefully Winnie the Pooh being a monster and having some cool and fun kills like Freddy Krueger or like Jason Voorhees. And honestly, opposed to the first movie, they actually satisfied this movie. There are fun scenes. They go to a rave. There's like flashing lights. You almost think it's like a John Wick movie for a second with like the lighting and the things being actually like blocked well and being kind of off screen with shadows, that kind of effect, the silhouettes. It was a cool and unique and fun scene. The gore effects, the budget on this movie has definitely improved. Like you can definitely see on Winnie, on honestly the other monsters too. Their effects, their costumes, their masks, they look better than the first movie. And the gore too, it does look better. I can't recall right now if there was a lot of CGI blood. I don't recall such a thing. The gore, it doesn't really look that great, like a skull being crushed or whatever. It doesn't look that amazing, but it is serviceable. And it is definitely an improvement from the first one. The first one was just so boring and badly paced though. Anyway, I don't know if there's anything much more to say. Well, as I'm going to score this, before that, let me talk about the first one and then score that first. The first one was so badly paced, so cliche. And like, you know, like I was saying earlier, because it's a monster flick or whatever, you know, all of Friday the 13th, oh, we have to have boobs in it. And it seems like the camera settings weren't even adjusted or anything. The camera looked like it was on default settings. The shots weren't good. The pacing was bad. I think I already said that there's bad pacing in this video. Anyway, their script was bad. The actresses were bad. So yeah, for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 1, it's gonna be another 1 out of 10 so far in the movies we've talked about. And for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, honestly, for all of the praises I've given it, you know, even while watching it, I was thinking, you know, this is actually an improvement from the first movie. Like, if I were to score this, like while I was watching, I was thinking, if I were to score this, would it like be a, you know, since it's slightly better, would it be honestly a 2 out of 10? But you know what? No. At some point, at some point. So as I said earlier, the events of the first movie happen in the universe of in the Pooniverse. So people found that as inspiration and made that into a movie, which is the movie we watched. If I understand, we're in too deep here. But they actually changed a few things for Winnie the Pooh button. Holy crap. For Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 1 version that is in the second movie has a has a scene, and if you know anything about this movie, maybe you know this. It hits it. It hits it. It's in on the joke at this point. It makes fun of of Morbius and says unironically, it 100% embraces it. It says it's pooing time. And honestly, just for that, you know, embracing this, it's a 4 out of 10. You know, it's not so much worth it that like in any situation you should watch it. But you know, solid 4 out of 10, I guess to say. This movie theater was completely empty once again, like Ghostbusters. Again, there are only a few other couples. I think before I bought my ticket, there were 2 other seats taken. And then as we entered, there were 2 other people. So in total, we were 6 people. And unfortunately, me and my girlfriend were the only people who laughed at the pooing time joke. Man, uncultured swines. Honestly, how could you not? But yeah. That's about it. So here's the letterbox now. And yeah, you can check that out. Twitter. And I think that's about it. Goodbye, everyone. It's pooing time.